If you feel that it's real, I'm on trial and I'm a hero in your prison. Like a coin in your mint, I am invented and I'm a spare if I treason. Through a glass eye throw is the one danger zone. Take me to the pilot of control. Take me to the pilot of your soul. Take me to the pilot, lead me to the chamber. Take me to the pilot, I am gonna change. Take me to the pilot, lead me to the chamber. I am gonna change. Na 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 na. It's just hands. Woo! Well, I know he ain't old, and I'm told he's a virgin. He, maybe she, but I'm told he never, never, never was ordered. Through a glass eye go. He's the one danger zone. Take me to the pilot of control. Take me to the pilot of your soul. Take me to the pilot, lead me to the chamber. Take me to the pilot, I am but a stranger. Take me to the pilot, lead me to the chamber. I am but a stranger. Na 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 na. More time. Take me to the pilot.
Adam Chester! Adam Chester. I'm going to try and... I'm so happy that you're here, Adam. Happy Memorial Day.
Thank you, and you too.
Thank you.
Is that an appropriate song for? It is. I meant it with all the respect and everything. So I mean, you know, all good.
Yeah, because a pilot is in the sky.
Right. We're talking war.
Right?
Good.
We didn't even think of that when you suggested that song. We didn't even think of that as one of the options.
Think of that, but that's good. So let's start again. We'll do it again. We're not going to do that again.
So I'm ready to do it again because I'm not even going to talk about all my technical issues. Like right now, I'm looking.
Right.
Oh God, because I just went on the other feed to see how we were, and you were going.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, the sound isn't working again. Adam and I have.
It is though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. I'm sure that we're cooking here. I'm just checking. I'm just checking. But what's really ironic is that I don't even want to get into all of that. So
that'd be crazy.
I had to have you. So right now, everybody, I've gone to all this trouble to have a great microphone and a great webcam, and right now nothing is working. You've got me on my computer thing again. I'm in my worst nightmare, but I have Adam here, so who cares?
It makes it all good.
It makes it all good. So Adam had to explain to me the difference between Veterans Day and Memorial Day. So explain for the folks, Adam, your rendition of Veterans Day versus.
So what I learned today was that Veterans Day is more of a celebratory time where we honor the soldiers and those people who have served in any format for our country. Memorial Day honors the ones that we've lost who served.
Yeah.
Much more somber of a day than Veterans Day. Veterans Day is very celebratory, a holiday with which one might play a song like Take Me to the Pilot. But Memorial Day, much quieter, much more reserved.
So what would be a perfect Memorial Day song, Adam?
You know, if one were to pick, I think it's a song. It was from the 1930s. "We'll Meet Again."
Can you
Yeah,
give us a little taste of that?
we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. See, that kind of a thing, you know?
You know, and I love the fact, Adam, that no matter what I say to you, you have a song ready. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that all through this hour. Whenever anything comes up that could possibly be a song, we're going to go to.
They're all my notes. No, I'm just kidding.
We're going to go to song. So you don't work with. Do you work with notes, Adam?
I have to have lyrics because I forget lyrics. So, you know, like if you asked me to sing all the lyrics of that song, "We'll Meet Again," I would never know it. I mean, you know, it's just better for me to have the lyrics in front of me. And I think I got spoiled, you know, and I know we'll get to this, but I think I got spoiled working with Elton because he always has, you know, a monitor in front of him with lyrics. And I got so used to that, I became dependent upon it, you know.
Right.
I know the lyrics to Tiny Dancer, but if the monitor isn't there with the lyrics in them, I don't know the lyrics to Tiny Dancer anymore. It's weird.
I totally understand that.
Yeah.
With everything that I know something and I know that I know it, but if I get used to reading it and you take it away,
that's it. I'm done.
Right. I totally get it. So
right.
so Elton looks at a monitor during a concert. I didn't hear you say that. You never said that. You didn't say that.
Does.
He does.
And you know the cool thing is he has a piano now. It's got the monitor built into the top. So they cut out a top portion of the lid of the piano and stuck the monitor in. So rather than look to the side or up or whatever, he's looking inside the piano. It doesn't look so.
Can you show us when you're looking at the piano what that would look like? I don't really understand.
Well, it's a grand
piano, right?
Yeah. So, but it's like the top of it, and they fold over what's called the flyleaf, so it's totally closed.
Right.
They cut out a little square portion on the top, and then dip that monitor in. You know.
So it's up and looking at it. It's not like he has to go look down at it.
No, but it is down, but the monitor is sort of tilted up like that so he can see all the lyrics.
Wow.
You know? It's really ultra hip and cool.
And I know a few actors that could use that for, because, you know, we've heard about the people that read lyrics, like Marlon Brando used to paint the script on his dialogue on his co-actors' faces so that he could.
Oh, wow.
Lines.
That's bizarre. And they were okay with that. Good for them.
Well, you know, it's Marlon Brando. I guess
I get it.
You know,
so write lyrics on the band members' faces and just while I'm rehearsing them.
Jake Hogan is like screaming at me. Adam is the best. Make Adam play more. Tell more.
Who said that?
Jake Hogan. Yes. So he's saying, tell more Elton secrets. So so can you give us a little Elton juice that won't get you in trouble that we might not know about Elton? What's this?
You know, the one thing that he loves to do with people is kiss. And
wait, your wife is screaming, no, don't say that.
No, here's the deal. So very friendly and he's very, you know, very European. Kiss here,
right
on the cheeks. But I remember the first time I was face to face with him in a formal setting in his dressing room at Madison Square Garden. I said, you know, I just want to say great show. It was the first time I had done a show with him. It was 2005. And I was brought back to his dressing room. It's not a normal dressing room. There's bushes. There's floral shit everywhere. It's beautiful. You could live in this dressing. So I get over to him and Elton, thank you so much. I was an honor to work and, you know, rehearse the band and everything for you. And he said, Adam, pleasure. And went right in for the smacker here, and I thought, you know, I could do it, but my instinct was
Yeah.
that. So he kissed
Wait,
here.
wait, wait, wait. You mean he's coming at you with like an open mouth towards your lips?
He was coming right at me, and so and it wasn't an open mouth, but it was just right there. And so
Yeah.
that's what he does. It's a simple, but I'm in a habit where I don't kiss guys, and I don't even kiss family members on the lips. It's just that's just we kiss on the cheek. So
Right.
anyway, he went for that, and I turned and he kissed my cheek, and it was all fine. And so I walked back to the dressing room after we spoke for a little bit,
Yeah.
and there's Nigel Olsen and Davy Johnstone and the whole band. And I was feeling a little strange. And I said, hey guys, something weird just happened. I went into the dressing room and you did what? That's not the weird part. I went into the dressing room and Elton went to kiss me on the lips, very friendly. And I turned my cheek and he kissed me on the lips. And so Nigel, in his very British accent, says, you just fucked your whole career. And everybody broke down laughing, and I was like really cool. So now whenever I see him, I just go over to him and I'm like, ah.
So okay, so I know that we've talked. I'm sure I don't know if we've talked about this before actually, because I just realized that I've never interviewed before. Every time that you've been with us, you've been at Women Who Write, where you've played and where you've told kind of little stories, but only the ones of your choosing. So it's never been my question. So wow, here we go. I'm excited.
That's it. I'm done. Good night.
So my eyes are, by the way, everybody, I want you to know that Adam and I were doing this whole test starting at about 3:30, and
3:30.
all of my equipment stopped working. So my webcam stopped working, my mic, my Yeti stopped working, everything. So right now I'm coming to you from my computer thing, which was my nightmare.
So looks fine.
Well, no, I'm blurry. I'm blurry on my end, it looks like.
Well, here, if I take off my glasses, you'll be very blurry on my end too.
I no longer have eyeliner on because I washed it all off, and I have big black circles under my, anyway, so we had all this technical difficulty, so there was no prep for this. We don't do prep here. But so we're not technically as good as I wanted us to be, but we have Adam, and that's all that matters. So and Adam, at some point you are going to show me how I can take people live on Facebook without doing any of these programs.
It is totally doable. I promise.
All right, because I've been trying
really fancy.
I've been trying to figure it out, so that's great. So my question to you though is, how did you initially connect with Elton to get what was your audition? I want to know all of this stuff.
So there was no audition. I mean, in that case, I was lucky. I graduated from USC School of Music, and I thought, well, what do I do now with a music degree? And so I thought, I'm going to go work in a record store and sell records. So I got a job at Music Plus, which was an old chain of music stores in LA. And they had, their main store was on Sunset and Vine.
Okay.
And so I'm putting away VHSs and putting away the new CDs we had. And I befriended this woman who was very sweet to me. And I didn't think anything of it. I'll get to who she was in a second. And cut to about a week or two later, she came back in the store with her husband. And her husband, she was married to him at the time, but her husband was Davy Johnstone, who I immediately recognized as, the guitarist for Elton John since 1971. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't make the connection. And so I walked up to him with an album, because we were still getting rid of LPs. And and I said to him, I walked up to him with an Elton John album, and I said, what do you think of this shit? And he said, it's okay. And we just totally hit it off. and we became very good friends. He was playing. My dog agrees.
That's okay.
we were we were playing gigs together. He would play studio, uh, all my original stuff. He would play guitar, and I
Wait,
think.
where were you playing?
Sorry.
Where were you playing that he was playing all your original
Oh,
stuff?
I went into the studio to record my original music, and he would come with me. He'd record guitar, and then when I did the live gigs, I did it at like Luna Park, Cafe
Right.
Largo, all these killer places back in
Right.
the. Well, by then it was early '90s,
Oh, okay.
and Davey and I were just such good friends, and it really didn't turn into Elton work until about 2004 when he said, "Hey, would you be up for rehearsing the band? Because Elton doesn't do that. You know, he doesn't have time for that right now." And I said, "Yeah." So
Okay, but wait, what happened to there was a person obviously who did it before you came in. Did something happen to that person?
Well, I think the story goes that they used somebody. I'm even forgetting his name, but he didn't really sing. He just played the piano.
I
And
see.
so Davey knew what a fan I was of Elton, and he knew I knew all the songs. And
Right.
they were just starting to do a Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy 30th anniversary tour. So there were a couple of band members who were newer, who had
Yeah.
never played the songs on that CD. And then there was Davey and Nigel, who really never played any of that stuff since the days they recorded it.
Okay.
And Ray Cooper, actually. And so I was called in to sit in for Elton on piano and vocals. And a funny story is that I found out that Elton always rehearses in a warm-up suit. He wears a warm-up jacket, warm-up pants. And so I went to, I think it was Big Five, and I bought an Adidas brown warm-up suit. And I showed up to my first day of rehearsal, and the band was in hysterics because they knew I meant business, you know.
Right.
So
that was very balls.
yeah, no, I wanted to go in, you know, and not just be, you know, he only got this job because of Davey. And so we rehearsed for a good 2 weeks, and then they got a CD of our rehearsals to Elton, and Elton said, "Hey, let's bring him out to New York and Boston and have him rehearse us here, and it'll be great."
Okay, so wait, so while you were rehearsing for those first 2 weeks, you never met Elton?
No.
You never met Elton?
I've been to dozens of shows,
Okay.
and I'm sure he saw me in the audience going, "Yeah!" But that was it. No official meet.
And so when you came out in the tracksuit, there was no Elton. You just did that for the band.
Did that for the band. And so I really thought the work would end there. And
okay,
I thought, "Okay, I'm done."
So what's the first song that you remember sitting down? Because it has to be a little intimidating to sit down with Elton's band.
Well, we started at the very beginning of Captain Fantastic. So it was Captain Fantastic. You know, and that's where it began.
Okay, so what's the first song that you're singing in front of Elton's band?
Captain Fantastic. It was Captain Fantastic, raised and regimented. See, I don't have the lyrics. Hardly a hero. But that was it. Just someone his mother might know. Very clear case for cornflakes and classics. 2 teas both with sugar, please. In the back of an alley. So that was the tune. And I was so in my element because for the weeks leading up to those first rehearsals with the band, I was like Rocky. I was like going over Laurel Canyon, singing the songs. I'm training, you know, Captain Fantastic, and just totally getting into this Elton world. You know, I mean, it wasn't so much that I was wearing a Daffy Duck outfit like he did in a concert,
Right.
but I was becoming, you know, that kid that I was growing up listening to this music.
Right.
And so I was 1 billion% ready for those rehearsals.
And so
And
did they, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
no,
Did they respond to you like when you finished your first
oh
song?
my God, yeah. Davey
Yeah.
was, Nigel said, that could be a fucking single.
Oh.
You know, and it was like, wow. And it
Oh.
was so validating. And, you know, plus I was trying not to sweat a whole lot in the warm up suit because I knew I had to return it a week or two later. So I'm not going to keep a brown Adidas warm up suit. So, the, you know, song after song, um, you know, and it was like, you know, songs like Better Off Dead, you know, which is really,
Okay,
you know, and they were like, wait, slow down, do that again. And, you know, we take it from the top. And it was like, I was teaching a lot of them, you know, to do it. And then I was
wow.
reminding Davey and Nigel what they did. And even though
You were
Davey's music,
reminding them.
oh my God, it was such an honor. I never took it, you know, in those days, which was 2005. I mean,
Right.
none of this, it was all so new to me that I was like a kid in a candy store.
Right.
Now, you know, it's like, okay, there's Elton, there's the band. I'm much more, you know, even though it's always an honor, I sort of fall into my place and I get it, you know? But
Right.
back then I was a little kid, you know, in my warm-up suit playing with my heroes. And it never even made me think twice about teaching them or you know, because they're incredible musicians. And it
Right.
wasn't like I was teaching babies. I mean, they caught it in no time. But it was, you know, and then we played Someone Saved My Life Tonight.
Would you? Oh, please.
Oh my God. That song is like 6 minutes of just joy to me. And you know,
You have to play some Adam. That's such a great.
I can do some of that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but
Uh,
and I remember my wife Maria came to those rehearsals, and I remember she heard us do Someone Save My Life Tonight. And it was just one of those songs that when I played it, I was so into it. And um, it's one of the tunes off of Captain Fantastic that Elton would occasionally play. So it was somewhat fresh with the band.
right. Right.
And so there's this part at the end where it ends like this. You know, and just like that. And so
You're going to give us more than that because we're all going crazy here. Okay.
I will definitely, but
Okay.
here's the deal. So I was playing it, and I had this idea that it should stop just at the end, and it was like this. You know, and that you wouldn't let that chord ring that time. And Davey, I remember Davey said, "Let's do that. Let's stop there." And
Okay.
and so cut to maybe several shows in when I was listening, Elton did that. And I was like, oh my God, if he did that, I don't want to think too big here. I don't want to get an ego. So maybe he just thought of it himself. But I was
Oh,
thinking, oh my God, if I inspired that, let that be the one thing I have ever done for Elton. This was back in 2005.
right.
And I remember thinking that would be the coolest thing ever. And then every year I was working with him, something cooler would happen and something more amazing. And
So
it,
tell us a few more of those stories.
well,
Like,
so so as you know, as that show happened, the Captain Fantastic show,
right.
I rehearsed them in Boston and appeared with them I overstepped. So
Okay.
here's how it happened. We rehearsed in Boston, and they had this
Right.
choir. There was about a 12-member choir, and
Okay.
I was the only. I think I was the only straight guy in the choir, and I was one of the only. There was one other white singer, and they were a set choir.
Okay.
And to reward me, if you will, for having rehearsed the band and got everybody ready, Elton said, "Hey, let's let him sing with the choir."
Oh.
Not the most receptive audience. And so I sang with them live in Boston, and then we all took the bus and car, whatever, to New York to sing at the Garden. And so I'm up there with the choir, and I've told this story once or twice, but it always makes me laugh. And I'm up there on stage, and what I failed to tell you was, for a lot of these songs from Captain Fantastic, the choir had set dance moves on stage. Now, A, I don't really dance so well, and B, I don't really dance so well. So I'm in the hotel room in
Yeah.
Boston before we went to the Garden, and
Uh-huh.
the two choir members who came up with these moves, and we're
Right.
talking about, stuff like that. They're showing me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, it's a lot. There's a lot of songs, and we're going live in 2 nights. But I think I got it. So I did the best I could with the moves on stage. And so we're in New York at the Garden, and I'm doing my thing. By this time, it's like the 3rd time I'm doing this. And the show ends, lights go on, everybody's leaving. I'm walking out of Madison Square Garden, and this man and wife see me. They're outside, and they say, hey, weren't you that guy in the choir singing? And I say, yeah, that was me. And the guy said, I have a question for you. We were wondering, did you win that spot to be up there? And so help me God, that's what they said. And
Oh
I
my
thought,
God.
maybe I did. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so, what was your reaction to them when they
I
asked you?
thought, you know what? They're 100% right.
Did you laugh?
I laughed my head off. I thought, oh my God, that's fucking hysterical. I can't believe somebody thought I won and they're right. I probably look like I won the spot to be up there
Oh
because
my God.
everybody's moving so fluidly and they all know these steps and I'm like, oh shit, it's that. And it was comedic. I mean, it must have looked like a comedy up there for
Oh my
some.
God. That is hysterical. So did you ever have a moment, Sharon asked, I'm looking at the questions quickly. Did you ever have a moment where Elton acknowledged you?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear about some of those.
Oh, well, uh,
Or one of those, your favorite
well,
one.
are we talking acknowledgement on stage? Because that's
Both. I would like to hear that, but I'd also
okay.
like
Well,
to hear of what you said
it's
to you
not.
privately.
It's not as an exciting of a story because I have that on I recorded it and I actually put it on YouTube as Elton introducing Adam, and it was in 2007 when I was actually conducting the Brooklyn Youth Choir at at Madison Square Garden for his 60th birthday concert and conducting the choir Adam and Chester, and it was like, oh, wow, and that and I did my dance steps again, and but it's the acknowledgments in private that
Yeah.
always that to this day blow me away.
So
That
like give us an example of some of the things he said to you in private.
okay, I'll give you 2. One
Okay.
that he didn't say to me, but said about me, and then the other one he said to me. So
Okay.
Davey calls me. This was maybe 3-4 years ago,
Okay.
and it was before they were planning the farewell tour. Before that even happened,
Okay.
and he said, "Hey, I just want you to know I was on the plane with Elton, and he asked me if you would be coming to rehearse everybody. And I said, wait. How did he ask it? And he said, well, I just want to know, is Adam going to be there? And I thought, Elton said that to you. And he goes, yeah. So that to me, that sort of recognition, the fact that Elton knows my name, which
Yes.
obviously by this point, but the fact that he was asking about me was
Yes.
just so sweet.
Absolutely.
And the other time is just anytime I see him, you know, the fact that he looks right at me, comes and gives me a hug, and hello, Adam, how are you? I mean, to me, that's the acknowledgement that matters. The stuff on stage. I'll tell you
Okay.
exactly the best acknowledgement he ever did in my life.
Okay.
My youngest son, Marcello,
Uh-huh.
is now 14, and he was 13 a year ago. He was getting bar mitzvah. So I sent an email to David, Elton's husband, and I
Uh-huh.
said, hey, is there any chance that Elton would just jot down a few congratulatory things I can read to Marcello at his bar mitzvah? And so he emails me back and he says, what about a video? And I said, what? So, unbeknownst to my son and my wife, Elton sends a video to me congratulating Marcello. Hello, Marcello. Congratulations on such a wonderful day. David and I and the boys, which, I mean, it's unbelievable. And it's like, I don't know, 18, 19 seconds long.
Oh my God.
That to me was the most beautiful acknowledgement anybody could have done. That he took the time to do that video, and now we have it forever.
It's unbelievable. That's beautiful.
That's
So
unbelievable.
now wait,
He's that kind of human being.
so you have that kind of relationship with David that you can go to David and ask such a thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'll never cross that line too much because I'm not that person who takes advantage of
Right.
people like that. I mean, I know my place, but this was a very big event, and I thought,
Right.
you know, a guy can dream. Maybe Elton will say a few nice words, and never expected a video. That was insane.
That is so
Yeah,
beautiful.
I have it up for sale now on eBay, but you know, it really.
When you played it at the bar mitzvah, people must have gone insane.
Well, my wife had no idea it was coming because we did a compilation video for Marcello, and
Right.
my friend and I, Mark Wallengren, who did all the editing, we did two versions of the video: the version without Elton and the version
Right.
with at the end. So at the end of the video, my wife is like, "Okay, everybody." I said, "Wait." And then all of a sudden it cuts to Elton and she's like, oh my son's like, oh my God. I mean, it was just so thrilling, you know?
God.
It's really awesome.
Okay, so go back and play the song you were going to play before. Now I can't hear. Someone saved my life tonight. Would you play that first?
You want the whole song? The whole song?
Oh, yeah. I want the whole song. God damn it. I want the whole song.
Okay, all right.
We want the whole song.
All right, Jesus. I'm just making sure I have the lyrics.
Make sure you have the lyrics. Don't screw yourself.
All right, here you go. There you go. Okay. When I think of those East End lights, muggy nights, curtains drawn in the little room downstairs. Prima donna, Lord, you really should have been there, sitting like a princess, perched in her electric chair. Just one more beer, and I won't hear anymore. We've all gone crazy lately. My friends out there rolling around the basement floor. Someone saved my life tonight, sugar bear. Almost had your hooks in me. Did away, hide away, bye, bye. You take this. I need you to sing that part.
Yeah, good luck.
Never realized the passing hours of evening showers, a slip noose hanging in my darkest dream. I'm strangled by her own and social scene, just a pawn I played by a dominating queen. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Damn it, listen to me go. I'm sleeping with myself tonight, saving time. Thank God my music's still alive. Can someone save my life tonight? Sugar babe, almost out your oaks in me, did you dear? You nearly had me rolled and tied. Altar bound, hypnotized with freedom, whispered in my ear. Butterfly, butterflies are free to fly. Fly away, fly away, bye bye. I wanna walk down to the deep end of the river, clinging to your socks and bones, paying your HP demands forever. And coming in the morning with a truck to take you home. Someone save my life tonight. 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 Someone save your strength and run the field you play alone. Someone save my life tonight. Sugar bear, almost had your oaks. Did you dip? You nearly had me rolled to die. Altar bound, hypnotized with freedom, whispered in my ear. Butterfly, butterflies are free to fly. Fly away, fly away. Bye, bye. Someone save, someone save, someone save my life tonight. Tonight. Someone save, someone save, someone save my life tonight. Someone save, someone save, someone save my life tonight. Someone save, someone save, someone save my life tonight.
Woo! I'm giving you a sitting O because if I stand up, you'll see my hips. Yeah. You know, you're so amazing. You know, I know that you
Thank
know
you.
that, but
That's so
you know,
sweet.
it,
Hang on. Hey, hon.
okay. All
Can
right.
you get me a charger? I don't want the phone to run out of juice before
No,
the tag.
no, we don't want the phone to run out of juice. Every you're getting all these applause and all this stuff,
Oh, that's
and
so sweet. I don't see any of that, so I'm not being rude.
oh,
I don't see
oh,
that.
okay, well, you're getting just incredible love.
Oh, that's sweet.
Just
That's
tons.
nice.
That you just got like everybody's just doing loads of applause,
That's very
and
sweet.
you're getting all of that going on.
All right. And you know, the thing is, somebody asked me once, "Are you an Elton impersonator?" And I
Ooh,
said, "No. I honor what he does, but I play any song I play as if I wrote it." And to me, that adds such a level of sincerity that I think lacks in what people think of when they think of a guy who sits and plays piano. Hang on. Oh,
yeah.
wow. Thank you, hon.
Thank you.
Isn't that sweet? So
Sweet.
hang on while I do this.
You know, but that totally comes across, Adam, because to listen to you play any of these songs, I mean, we all know those are Elton songs. You know, that there's no doubt those are Elton songs, but you do, and it's not even so much that you're making them your own and that you're doing different arrangements of them, although you do sometimes, you know, put your own flavor on things. But
Well, you know, and that's what I tell people is like, you know, I'm not changing this. I'm just doing it as if, you know, Elton just wrote it yesterday. And I think a lot of that gets lost in even, you know, major performers like Elton. They do it over and over and over, night after night after night. And after a
right,
while, you're just like, you know, someone saved my life tonight. And, you know, some shows are absolutely unbelievable. Though I must say, Elton, in this last farewell tour,
yeah.
every show I've seen has been unbelievable. You know, just
You
him
never
pouring his
called,
heart out.
you never called it in.
Oh my God, not once that I've seen. Not once. Okay, good. That's charging, I think. Good. So,
So, so So for you, when you're taking these on, it appears to, I do get that you're singing them as if they are your own and that you wrote them and that they're brand new and they're fresh.
right.
How do you, because for those of you who don't know, you play this stuff. You play at the Sunset Marquee. You have a lot of regular gigs that you do on a weekly basis. We're going to talk about Quaranchella, but when you're doing all of these gigs week after week after week after week, and people are goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Benny and the Jen, people are calling these songs out. How are you in the moment making them fresh over and over and over again?
You know, because it's such a joy to do this, and there's nobody else who sits in for Elton and does this. So it's like, you know, they call him Davey. It's 100% Davey's creation. He was
Okay.
the one who called me. It's our surrogate Elton John. And I remember it was in I guess 2007. I was at an Elton show just watching with Davey. And there's Billy Joel in the back, and he's behind the curtain. And and Phil Ramone was alive, who produced Billy and who produced the Song of Elton's.
Right.
And so Davey brings me over to Phil and Billy to introduce me. And he says, "I'd like you to meet this is our surrogate Elton John. This is Adam." And so Billy says, "Surrogate? Why don't I have a surrogate?" I mean, he sounded like Jackie Mason for a second. And surrogate? Why do I should have a surrogate. But it was so cool, and I met them. So this title has stuck with me since Davey created it in 2005. I came up with the notion that, okay, he's Sir Elton SIR. I should be Sir Elton SUR. So and so I've been flying with that for a while, but I got to give full credit to Davey for the surrogate, because I never would have thought of that without him.
And so do you, how do your parents feel about that? Because I know there's this whole smother thing. We'll get into that, but say the book title as you.
It's a weird thing. I think in an insane mother's world, and insanely loving. I think that she approaches all my Elton work as a tu. Like I don't want to say anything for fear that it might ruin it for him because I have that much power over my son's life. Tu. I'd rather not talk about Elton. Elton who? Wait,
Has
you play piano?
Has your mother come to see a show that?
Yeah. She came to one of the garden shows in 2007, I think it was, that I was conducting,
Oh,
and I'll never forget it because security, even in 2007, so prior to actually after 9/11, but prior, security was always tight at the garden.
right.
And she somehow broke through security.
She broke through.
Yeah, and ended up finding me.
She didn't need a backstage pass.
No.
No.
So all fun and games, and it really it's interesting to always hear her take on my work with Elton because I'm not sure she'll ever acknowledge what I do with him. It's just, why doesn't he hire you full time? Oh, never mind. That kind of thing.
So let's talk a little bit about your mom because you wrote the book and we both have books about our moms. So I called it Mother. How is it supposed to be said?
Smother. Yeah, it's
Smother.
Mother.
Yeah, so it's just Smother.
Smother, yeah. And that came out in 2011, I guess, from Abrams Publishing. And to this day, it's the concept that never dies, and there's some good people behind it trying to make it into a half-hour sitcom, which I would love to see happen. Whether or not it does, I could tell you one funny. It's not that funny. We pitched it to somebody at a network who actually liked it, and then COVID-19 hit, and that was
wow.
It was like, okay, we're going to talk about this after, and so whether or not it picks up again with the conversations, who knows?
Right.
It doesn't seem to ever want to go away, which I'm totally fine with because I'd love for the story to come out in a television show. I think it'd be great.
Okay, so Adam, my question to you. So I wrote a fictionalized memoir, and my mother is a character. Well,
yep,
there's a character like my mother in that book. So how does your mother feel? Has she read your book?
No, she doesn't want to read it because, again, if she reads it, something bad could potentially happen. So she's read parts of it, and she puts on an air of like, I can't believe he makes fun of me that way. And we were on the George Lopez talk show together back when he had a talk show. The book had just come out, and she made it sound like, she said, would you believe I had to sign a legal paper so that I can't sue him? And so the audience got, I became the bad guy. This is our relationship,
Right.
I'm the bad guy, she's insane. So I tell people it's like the Inspector Clouseau, she's Inspector Clouseau, and I'm Inspector Dreyfus, his boss, sitting there twitching in the corner. She's the crazy one. But I'm in a nut house.
Well, but Adam, so you've written, I assume, about her affectionately, but also honestly. I'm guessing that there's a lot of truth in there.
Yes.
So is she a good sport about that stuff? Does it concern you what her reaction might be? No.
No, I'm just happy that now people know that there's a reason I am the way I am. I have all the evidence in a book now. She can't deny it. So, we just did a video together a week ago, she and I, because the producers are trying to get things up again now that things may be getting back to normal. And they said, all we want is just a camera on you and your mother talking about some of the crap she's done to you. And it could be a he said, she said kind of thing. And it was hysterical listening to her, rationalize some of the stuff that she'd done. So it's still a kick to this day, you know.
So is there a song that reminds you of your mother? I'm putting you on the spot. We didn't discuss this before. If you had to sum your mother up in song, does anything come to mind without giving it a lot of thought? Um,
Uh, better off dead, better off dead, better off dead, better off dead. Yeah, see, it always goes back to no, I love her. You know,
of course you do.
I want to kill her sometimes, and I think a lot of guys can relate to that with you know, crazy overprotective mothers. But it's beyond a typical Jewish crazy mom.
Okay, so Adam, give us a story. Give us an example, whether it's from your book or not, of something that happened with your mother that
Okay,
typifies.
this is it.
Okay.
This so one happened when I was in eighth grade. I had a crush on this girl, Sarah. We're in our phys ed class, and we're all in shorts. There's the boys' locker room, the coach's office, and the girls' locker room. So
Okay.
we're done. We're done with phys ed. We're all sweaty. We're changing. All the guys are changing. Girls are changing in their room. All of a sudden, in the middle of the day, it's seventh grade. I hear my mother call, Adam. Like it can't be. It's the middle of the day. And then I heard it again, Adam. And she literally walked into the boys' locker room while we
Oh
were
my,
all changing.
oh my
Once
God.
she stepped in, the coach ran out of his middle office in. Most all the girls came out of their locker room and were watching. And she was carrying something for me, which turned out to be a sweater because he thought it was going to rain and that I would need a sweater because of the cold. And in
Wow.
that moment, it was the end of my life. And Sarah, of course, wouldn't talk to me for a long time after that. But that's
Oh,
not normal. I don't think anybody would walk into a boy's and everybody's changing. Oh shit, it's out! You know, I'll never forget it. I'll never
oh
forget it.
my God. And does she own that today? Like if you bring that up to her, will she have a
She'll
reason?
start laughing. Oh,
Oh, she
please,
left.
you were just a kid then. But you know, she's been doing it my whole life, as if that justifies it. You
Are
know.
you an only child?
Yes, I'm the only child. Yeah.
So
And
that's
my dad, you know, I lost him to pancreatic cancer when I was 8.
so
So,
sorry.
you know, it was just yeah, I mean, I tell good friends of mine that it wouldn't surprise me if he ran off to Mexico to get the fuck away from her. But I don't think that's true. I think he would have come out and told me that by now. I think. But yeah, so I grew up with this on a daily basis. You know, it was you know, me
How
trying to break
did your
away.
wife get along with your mother? Because did your mother give her a hard time when she was coming into your life? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and in weird ways, like
Yeah.
the first time they met, my mom was not living in LA at the time. She was in New York. She flew out to meet Maria, I think it was, and we were all scheduled to go to a dinner. And my mom showed up, you know, this was like what, in 2000, 1999 or 98. And, you know, my mom was probably in her 60s then. And whatever, she wore this, it was open to there. And,
What?
and a skirt, way too, very provocative. And, and
Wow.
when we went out to dinner, she proceeded to tell a story to Maria and I that I had never heard. That she was at the. Oh, I have to tell that story, honey. My wife's telling me don't. She was at the Algonquin, I guess it was,
Right.
and she was sitting in the hotel in New York, listening to the music, ordering drinks, having a time of her life. She forgot to bring her wallet. So, what did I do? I pretended to make a phone call and then I left. Isn't that hysterical?
Oh my
I'm sitting there going, why? Why are you telling me this story? It was not impressive. And it was just odd. The whole thing with her is odd. She's very odd. You
Has
know,
there been another boyfriend in all these years?
for my mom,
Yeah.
she's dated. I mean, she's 83 now,
Okay.
and she lives about a mile and a half away in a building
Oh,
where on the first floor my
yeah.
mother-in-law lives. So there's another sitcom there because my mother is on the third floor, my mother-in-law on the first floor, and they really don't get along all the time. So
Oh.
um,
So,
it really is weird.
so you've got mixed ethnicities.
Yeah.
Does your mother-in-law accept you?
Yeah, she's totally different. See, my mom is all about me. My wife's mom is all about herself. And so it doesn't work. It's like matter and antimatter in that apartment building they live in. It's pretty funny.
Wow. Wow.
Pretty,
So this is holidays have to be very interesting around your
very
place.
strange. Yeah. One Thanksgiving not too long ago, my mother just felt at the table that she wasn't getting listened to. So
Okay.
it was Thanksgiving and she said, I'm fucking out of here. Out the door she went. And I'm like, can you pass those potatoes, please? Because I'm used to this nonsense. And maybe 45 minutes she came back. She said, I came back because I met the nicest man at the 7-Eleven on the corner, and he said I was being ridiculous and I should come back. And I said, so it took a guy at the 7-Eleven to make you realize you're okay. Can I have some more of that stuff? I mean, you have to ignore it and move on.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they're both right there. So do you guys see each other a lot? So you see them a lot?
Uh, well, now you can't really because they're
Well,
having
that's
this.
okay.
But
So now with social distancing, are you withholding that with your mother-in-law, with your mother and mother-in-law?
yeah, we're staying away from them. We bring them supplies and food
Right.
whenever and they actually came. Both of them came to hear the Quarantella that we did on Mother's Day. So they were sitting behind me for that concert, which was very funny because instead of 6 feet apart, they were like 106 feet apart from each other, and it was a funny visual. Me playing the keyboard outside, and my mother behind me, and my mother-in-law, like in Cleveland, Ohio. It was a great visual.
So let's talk about Quaranchella and
Yes.
how I mean it's such a great name. So I think as I recall when this whole thing started, you did like one of these like I'm doing here
Yes.
with you
Yeah.
live.
And it
You
wasn't called Quarantella. I was doing it live from my piano. This is my childhood piano.
wow.
Had it my whole life. And I was just putting it up on live, streaming to Facebook. And
Right.
then, my wife and I thought maybe we should take it outside and do this as a fundraiser and raise some money for people in need. So
How long how
we
long
did
into it how much into it how long were you doing the live shows in your living room before you decided to take it outside?
probably 2 weeks,
Okay.
really quick.
And how
Um,
often were you were going live fairly often? How often were you going live at the
I was
beginning?
going live twice a week.
Okay.
Twice a week, yeah. And there was such a great reception. And, I was just playing Elton, Billy, but every show was different. I was trying to make it like I'm talking to people, and it picked up quite a lot of views. And we thought, let's take
Right.
this outside for the neighbors. So we emailed all the neighbors, and we said, would you be okay if I played? And most of them had never heard me play.
Wow.
And we didn't know most of the neighbors here, and we live in a little cul-de-sac where it's a dead end, and so
Right.
it's very safe, to hold a concert on your front lawn. So I had
Right.
my kids bring out my keyboard, and my wife carried the amp. She was carrying stuff, and I gotta watch the thing. And so we just played. We raised like 1,100 for the We Spark Center, We Spark Cancer Center.
Nancy's a really good friend. That's wonderful.
Oh wow, yeah. She
Yeah.
even emailed me and was like, "Thank you." I mean, and you know, it was so cool. And then every week we picked a different nonprofit that we thought would benefit with everything going on with COVID-19. You know, we did UCPLA, Cerebral Palsy LA. We did ALS for my friend Mark Wallengren's brother who passed from it. We did that kitchen, World Central Kitchen, which is bringing meals to people.
Right.
And 2 weeks ago, we did it for the Mankind Project, which puts together these care packages for the homeless in LA under the freeway. And he sent me an email that I posted on my Facebook page because he said, look, we were so appreciative. We were expecting $400, $500. You raised $1,700 for us in that hour, and that buys us about 100 care packages. And
Oh.
I mean, we were just so thrilled. And this website, a friend of mine, Bob Kaufman, told a friend he knew who runs a website called We Like LA. And they came to do a review of the concert. And they loved it. And it was the day that Lisa Loeb came here to sing Don't Go Breaking My Heart with me outside. And it was such a wonderful article. Then the AP got wind, the Associated Press. They came the following week, and then the story broke everywhere. And it was on CBS this morning. Gayle King was talking about it.
Phenomenal.
David Spade Instagrammed about it. And I don't, you know, it was amazing. And last Friday, I went on the roof of the Sunset Marquee and played for everybody in West Hollywood. And that was on KTLA. And it's like musician Adam Chester, who subs for Elton John, who is off his concert tour now. And it's like, I mean, it was hard getting people to come to my gigs. And now all of a sudden I'm on, you know, Spectrum TV, on CBS. It's crazy. And I think the key of it is the fact that we're raising money for people in need. And, you know, it didn't matter that I was unemployed. I just wanted to get out there and play and make some money for people. And that's what makes this so much fun. And my wife called it Quaranchella.
Okay, so how did that come? Did that just like happen?
It flew out of her mouth because the neighbor across the street was like, you should call these Quaranpalooza. And she said, no, Quaranchella. And it was like, boom.
Perfect.
So
it's perfect. So
it's pretty cool. And so we uploaded them all to YouTube, all the videos of the 8 Quaranchellas we've done on my Adam Chester YouTube page.
Right.
And the key is to try to get the word out, you know, because I'm looking for work all the time now. And so far I've been hired to play Zoom corporate parties, fundraisers, anniversaries, birthday parties. And it's like, oh my God, there's a market for me doing this now. So it's really exciting to be, you know, not only raising money for people, but trying to get a whole new way of life for me as a player and singer.
So you're really, see, now I did not know about this, and this is really fascinating, Adam, because you didn't set out to turn it into profit for yourself. You started out with the intention to be entertaining, to fill the time, to raise money for charity, and as a result, you are actually now making money from it.
Correct. And people have been getting in touch with me. Hey, would you play my birthday party? And, you know, it could be from anywhere from like 10 minutes, which is a quick couple of songs. Happy birthday, I'm gone.
Right.
I played for a temple as a fundraiser last week, all Zoom. And they raised a lot of money by people were paying me they were paying the temple X amount of money for a request and an additional amount of money for a request and a dedication. And it was like, you know, so the temple paid me and then they made money. So it was all so great. I mean,
Wow.
I love this kind of thing because I
And
get to
so
do
there's
it
going to be Zoom birthday parties, bar mitzvahs. There's going to be
everything.
Zoom weddings. There's going to be all of
There's
these.
going to be brisses. I mean, circumcisions. I can play those. Bring me
I'm,
out.
I'm watching Scheisel right now, so yeah,
Oh, that's great.
they could have
That's
used
great. I
you.
don't know what that is, but it sounds very
It's
Jewish.
Jewish. It's Jewish. Yeah,
Okay.
there's bris and Scheisel.
Ah,
So everybody's like, I'm sure, dying. People are saying, what's your favorite Elton John album? What's your favorite song? What's your favorite Elton song? I hate to ask all those questions that I'm sure you are asked a million times over, but quickly, without stopping on them. Do you have a favorite Elton John song?
it varies on the day. My favorite song to play of his is "Funeral for a Friend." Love Lies Bleeding. I've always played that song. From junior high to now. That song is ingrained in my bones.
Well, you
you
know what
know,
you have to do then.
oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you brought that on yourself. You got
this
nobody to.
one I don't need the lyrics for.
All right.
And then I mean, I'll try to do it a little shorter because it's a long one. Are we on a time constraint here?
We are going nowhere.
Will the network cut us off?
Yeah, no.
All right, so this is really my favorite. It's from the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album. It's "Funeral for a Friend" and "Goodbye Yellow Brick" and "Love Lies Bleeding." All right, here we go. Roses in the window box are tilted to one side. Everything about this house is gonna grow and die. It doesn't seem a year ago that was fairy tale. Said I'm sorry, honey, if you don't change your ways. I can't last another day. And my life's bleeding in my head. Oh, it can't make me think of you with the love, man. I was playing rock and roll when you were just a fan. My guitar couldn't hold you, I split the band. Up, I'm beating in my head. I wonder if those changes have left a scar on you. Like all those burning hoops of fire that you and I passed through. You're a bluebird on a telegraph line. I hope you're happy now. 'Cause if the without change coming down your way, girl, you're making back somehow. And I'm not breathing in my head. Oh, it can't make me think of you with another man. I was playing rock and roll when you were just a fan. My piano couldn't hold you, I split the band. Oh, I'm beating in my head. And I'm not beating in my head. Oh, it can't make me think of you with another man. I was playing rock and roll when you were just a fan. My piano couldn't hold you, I split the band. Oh, I'm beating in my head.
Everybody's going, what? Everybody's losing their shit and they're going, oh my God, what a workout. What a workout. that's really a workout for you, isn't
It
it?
is a workout. I'm probably schwitzing like a pig. I sweat. The moment I sit down at the piano, I'm sweating.
I
It's
bet that's
crazy.
true. I bet that's true. It's hot today too, huh?
It is,
And-
but it's just me. I just sweat, and I started noticing it because I was playing at the Sunset Marquee before it was obviously a pandemic, and
right.
in the audience was Sylvester Stallone's brother, Frank Stallone.
I know Frank's done the living room.
Insane. So I remember he had that song. It's far from over, right? and so I called it up on my phone, which is here, so I can't use it. But I'm listening to it on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my god, that's it. So I started playing it. He was at the bar, and it was one of those.
Is this a song from Staying Alive? This isn't the song from.
Yes.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to think how it goes, but now
I don't remember how it goes.
Say me down, far from over. Anyway, so I was playing it, and he's like, that was amazing. And he stands up and he takes a picture with me. I'm wearing like a blue shirt that is now black with sweat. And I'm like, I look disgusting. It looks like I stepped into the pool. And he's wearing these Elvis Presley cool glasses and whatever. It was so cool. How many times does he walk into a bar and gets to hear Far From Over? It was awesome.
I'm sure that never happens.
Well,
so that's great.
I love that song. Terrible.
Have you gotten now I know you've gotten to do that before because you got to do it in my living room with someone whose album you had.
That was Donnie Most.
Can you tell that story? That's hysterical.
Yeah, no, I was living in Miami. I was a kid. And I heard he had an LP that was out, and I ran to the record store that was down the street. Of course, my mother was watching me running the whole time. And I got there, and they said, oh, we just got this in. You're the second person to buy it. Don Most's grandmother was just here to buy it. And I was like, no way. And so I bought the album. I've saved it my whole life. He was in your living room session that I was on, actually, and I brought the album with me, and he was blown away that it's in pretty good shape, and he signed it, and I keep it. I'm so embarrassed. I keep it near my bed. I'm so embarrassed.
I mean, but how wild is that like all these years later you got the thing signed? I mean, that
brilliant.
It's
brilliant. It's literally in the bedroom. I look at it every now and then. I'm like, yeah.
So have there been I'm sure there have been other occasions where your heroes have come to hear you play, or
oh yeah, and everybody from Ray Cooper, who's Elton's percussionist, and he played with the Stones, with Miles Davis. He is percussion. He's not a percussionist, and he came and I got him a tambourine, and we played Tiny Dancer together for everyone, and it was unbelievable. That was one of my favorite, celebrities. People may not have recognized him right away, but they knew who he was when they heard the name. I'm trying to think if there was anyone else.
Like I'm thinking at the Sunset Marquee, people must happen in.
Well, at other gigs, Robert Palmer came one day,
wow.
And I played. I didn't want to play what he was most famous for, which is Simply Irresistible and all the girl dancing song. So I played an oldie. I went back to Takes Every Kind of People to Make the World Go Round. And I started playing that, and he looked up like, who's playing that? And he walked over and he shook my hand and he gave me a $50 bill. And I was like, that's really cool.
Oh.
And I said, could you make it 100? I'm just low.
So Adam,
and recently, my wife just reminded me, George Thorogood came in, and Bad to the Bone, and
you don't have to explain George Thorogood to me anyway. But anyway,
he was amazing. He sat down and he was like, "Can you do Blue Sky do Willie Nelson's version?" And I'm like, "Blue Skies, how's that go?" He said, I try to listen to it. And I called it up and I was playing. And he was like, wait, you've never played that? And I said, no. But I kind of remember hearing it one day, and then I just listened to it. But he was so sweet.
I
So yeah,
love that.
I
I love
played the
that
Four
so much.
Seasons too, and that's where he came in.
He had his daughter, his son and my daughter applied for NYU for Tisch at the same time. So we were sitting and waiting for them for like 6 hours in a lobby once, him and
Oh,
his wife.
that's awesome.
And
That's awesome.
I didn't mean to be snarky about that, because why would a lot of people wouldn't recognize George Thorogood? I'm sure that's true.
I don't think I recognize. When he said his name was George, I'm like, wait a minute, George Thorogood? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it was really cool. So I didn't recognize him just at first.
Right, right. Adam, you do a lot of that. You play a lot of standard. Like everybody knows you was Elton John, and people request that. But I can't think of one now. You played one the other day at your Quarancella that was a standard. Do you have a favorite?
Sway. Sway.
That was it. That was it. That was
Yeah. See, I love that kind of stuff. So, you say, what's your favorite music? And you just reminded me one of my favorite songs to play. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if we did, that kind of, and put that a little bit into Sway. And it was so great. I was playing with a percussionist by the name of Marlon Grace. It was awesome, but I try to make so here's what Quarancella has taught me.
okay.
You get to do, it's like Elton and Billy Joel doing gigs. After a while, they must zone out. I think this quarantine, this time, has given me a chance to reflect on the potential of songs there are to play. And so every show, I try to do different songs. I won't repeat. Maybe I'll do Tiny Dancer. Maybe I'll do Benny. The typical song crowd pleasers. But the rest of the hour, I'm like, I did Cher. I've never played Cher.
I heard your Cher impression.
and I was like, do you believe in life after love? And I'm like, what a great song. I mean, the oddest things come to me, because I want to entertain the neighbors and make them forget about, what everybody's going through now.
Does ever, Adam, you have to, when everyone's asking for Benny and the Jets and Tiny Dancer over and over, can you find something new to love in it, or is it like, okay,
I definitely do. Like somebody actually noticed when I played it a second time. They were like, you don't play that the same twice, do you? And I was like, yeah, no. I try to really mess that one up to be different. Like I started out, he just goes, and everybody knows what it is.
Right.
Which, by the way, on the album, it started with this chord. And then it went up to. But he doesn't do that anymore. Now he just plays the G. So I'm thinking, okay, how else can we start it? And
how
it's like
fun.
I didn't know what that was, and I just did that for the first time. So it's like you get in that zone of what Benny and the Jets is, and you're off and running. So I love doing that.
So you are making you're loving what you're doing as much as we think you're loving what you're doing.
That's not an act. I would literally sit and talk here to you playing until my wife says, I'm going to bed. Get off already.
Well, but that's
wanting more.
But that's the thing, is that you don't know me, and I would sit here with you until your wife goes to bed and do this. And the thing is that they'll all sit here with us and they'll listen. So
it depends. Is Tova on? Because if Tova's on,
Tova's on.
Okay, there you go. Hi Tova. Hi Nikki. Hi Crystal.
I haven't seen Nikki and Crystal, but Tova's definitely.
Okay, never mind them.
Toby and Tony and all of the shooting the shit with Vicki people are all watching. Sharon comes. So I have a couple questions for you, and then it's been requested that you play an original. I think that's something we should do before you go.
Okay,
is that we should do something that's really some of your creation, other than
that's fine.
I think these things are your recreation, is what I'm getting. Is that you really are recreating what you're doing.
I'm trying, because to me it keeps it fresh, and it's challenging when somebody, at one of our quarancellas says, "Hey, boy, next time I would love to hear X," and I'm like, never played that before. So I'll listen to it and try to do something fun with it for the next quarancella. I get emails all the time from people. I use this one a lot because it's touching. This woman I don't know sent me a Facebook Messenger saying she's going through lung cancer, and she doesn't really have much to look forward to right now, except for listening to these Quarancella concerts. And I thought, oh my God, if that is having any kind of effect on people, then we're doing a good job doing what we're doing. And it just meant the world to me. So I don't want to go about this half-ass and just go out there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Quarancella. I want to make it fun. And
well, that's who you are anyway. That's who you are with everything that you do.
But yeah, thank you. But that solidified it for me. I was like, you never know who's watching. And, it was so funny because David Spade wrote on his Instagram, he circled my mother-in-law and he wrote, "Seems to be confused by song choices." And he circled me and he said, "Waiting for CBS executive to walk their dog." I'm like, the funny thing is, I don't care. I'll do it until I'm blue. So, it'd be nice. It doesn't have to be CBS. It could be whatever. But I'm doing this just because I love doing it, and that's.
I love that. So, okay, these have all been great showbiz questions and stories. Now I want to ask some human, just some real life stuff. So you and your wife and your kids, are you all COVID compatible? Do you what is your level of concern and caution? And is it different from your wife's, or are you in sync on that?
Honey, are we COVID compatible? Now we are, she says. About 2 hours ago, not so much.
Okay, so really, are you, we are called the COVID crazies because of me and a few of these women who do this every day. Insane. I won't let my boyfriend came today and we kissed. I was in a human condom, a full body bag for us to kiss.
And as you said that, you mentioned it briefly to me earlier. I thought I gotta buy one of these, and I couldn't find a good one. So
I'm gonna send you the link. But
that's fine.
I literally have not. I live alone. I don't. Do you go to the grocery store?
We're trying. I did that Sunset Marquee concert on the roof, and I didn't even notice this, but the manager of the bar was trying to tell me that the mayor, after 40 minutes, was shutting us down, like the Beatles.
I saw that. Yeah.
A couple of people were complaining. So the bar manager walks up behind me. I didn't notice it or feel it until I saw it on the video. And he put his hand on my mouth.
What? Oh, Cindy, did you hear that?
I drop dead in the next couple of weeks. It's his fault.
Oh my God. Okay, so now tell me, how do you handle doing a show? Because there's people.
Well,
so
in the neighborhood for the Quarancellas, I'm the farthest away from everybody. And then the neighbors drew a big chalk circle. You're not supposed to come within 15 feet, at least, I think it is, of anybody that's performing. Whether it's Lisa Loeb with me, whether it's friends, whatever. Don't come close. And people have crossed that line, and then we're like, no, get back. So, people are throwing cash at me. We put it through the wash. It's crazy. It's like, can't you Venmo me? It's fine. Just Venmo. But some people insist.
when you're on the roof and there's sound, are you wearing Adam? Are you and your wife wearing masks when you go out in the world?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
She's a little more uptight about things than I am. But when I went out to do that marquee gig on Friday, she's like, you realize you're risking your life to do this. And
yes,
I thought that was a little bit of a over exaggeration, but I kept my mask on except when I sang.
right.
And then I took it off. And so I didn't even notice Terry's hands. I didn't notice he was right behind me, pulling me away from the mic. And I thought, holy shit, he touched my mouth with his hand. What is he
Cindy
doing?
wrote, I'm horrified. So,
Well, that's what Maria was. Do you know Terry touched your face? I'm like, what? I didn't
oh,
even feel it. So, you know,
so okay,
needless,
Adam, do you guys go to the grocery store?
yeah, we're full mask and gloves on occasion with the gloves, and we're very careful. We don't, and we sterilize everything when we get it back in. It's a
Okay,
whole
so now,
process.
being parents and your kids not being able to go to school, how has that worked out? Like
It's not
homeschool?
easy. I mean, online classes have a long way to go for perfection in public school, but
Right.
they seem to be doing okay with it.
How old are your boys?
They're 16 and 14.
So they're doing, so you're not having to homeschool in any way. They're getting everything they
I,
need on.
I I end up helping the youngest one out quite a bit when I'm available because he needs more help. My
Mhm,
older one is in a private school and
mhm.
they're having real classes.
I see.
Public school is more, here's the homework, good luck. And,
Uh,
and they have an occasional class, but that's much more they're on their own and he needs some assistance with that. So that's hard, because I'm planning for one of these shows. Whatever. There's a lot of stuff going on.
do you think that because the kids that have gone through public school and have gone through this, do you think they're going to need a lot more help when they go back?
I think so, but maybe not. I mean, we don't even know if they're going back. I mean, it might be virtually. So I don't know. I really don't.
But
Yeah.
it sounds like for yourself, you've created a new niche for yourself. You've made lemonade out of lemons. You've got now. Do you have a way to make a living that supports you from this?
Well, so these Zoom parties that I'm doing
Right.
are helping out, and I manage a piano store that is now, as of a couple of days ago, having us. The store is closed, the doors are locked, the open
Right.
time is off, but we take phone orders, so no one's really coming in the store. But
Right.
even going into the store to do that, it's a little weird. There's only 2, 3 people there, and you're far enough away. But it feels weird. I don't know. I'm not convinced that it's the right time to be doing this. But people call. They're ordering pianos sight unseen, and it's all done over the phone.
And are you wearing a mask when you're there with your coworkers?
When the coworkers are there and they're coming close, then you put on your mask. Nobody eats lunch together. Nobody uses anyone else's phone. So, there's only 3 of us and so you're far enough away. But it still feels kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
But you don't seem to have a level of. Did your mother have COVID anxiety?
See, my mom has waited for this day her entire life. She's lived to be a part of a pandemic. And so everything she was fearful of for me, her whole life, is now validated. So it's given her more purpose than anything.
So there's vindictive joy involved.
Absolutely. She is riding that storm wave for the finish. But, there's always a warning with her.
But something else just dawned on me. So kids, so we know, so you can go on Quaranchella, you can go virtual and you can connect. I can do my shooting the shit and I can have. How are your kids handling the socialization or the lack of socialization?
I mean, not too well. My oldest, Truman, gets to go out with the neighbor across the street and that's about it. they wear masks. They go to the
Right.
liquor store. They'll buy some drinks, some scotch, whatever, and they'll bring it back, drink it in the room. I never see them. But it's very minimal. We don't let them go out much.
Well, so if he is going out though and meeting his friend, are they socially distancing when they're?
Yes, yes.
They are.
So their parents are very strict, and so it's only us that they're going out with. So
And they can't really throw a ball, can they? Can they throw a ball? How does that work?
really throws balls anymore. It's
Yeah.
all online. It's skateboarding
Ah,
or they're on Xbox. That's
right.
all it is. And my oldest son Truman is actually a musician, so he's in his room a lot of times writing and singing and composing, and so that's great. They're
And
both very conscientious about this being a different time.
and how is the emotional? Is it taking an emotional? Is it because I mean you're a family, you have a very different
Yeah.
situation than I do. So do you feel like they're emotionally okay through this?
No, no, not at all. We're a wreck. I mean, we go through fights and we'll get through it, but it's definitely different because I'm usually never home. So I'm home a lot now and I'm playing piano a lot. And it's
Right.
like, 10 o'clock hits, my wife is like, she's got my son Truman singing in his bedroom, my son Marcello playing Xbox, and I'm out here playing piano. Shut up! It's a lot of noise. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on,
Yeah.
but it sounds like you guys are doing it with good humor.
We try. We try.
Okay, so tell us what's coming up in the Quarantella in the immediate future that
Well,
everyone.
so tomorrow I'm streaming live on Sunset Marquis' Facebook page. I do their Tune Tuesday, they call it, and I'm playing tomorrow night from my house. It'll be from 6 p.m. to 7 on the Sunset Marquis Facebook page. That'll be
Okay.
a whole new set of stuff I've never played, and I'm figuring out the set list as I'm sitting here, and then Saturday we have Quarantella. I think that's it. Unless I'll know tomorrow, there's a possibility the mayor and the Sunset Marquis will allow us to do another Friday night on the roof, but we won't know that till tomorrow.
And how do you feel okay about doing that? I mean, because it
I
looks
love
like,
it. Oh, I love that
okay.
because people were hanging out on their balconies and yay at them, and I mean, it was like, oh my god, it
Did you
was
feel
so
like you
much
were the
fun.
Beatles on Abbey Road?
What?
Did it feel like the Beatles on Abbey Road?
Totally, and I wore my John Paul George Ringo shirt because as an honor that moment. And then when we were getting kicked out, I said, "Are you kidding me? Is this for real?" And then the whole hand on the mouth thing, it never even dawned on me. But I can't stop thinking about it now. I
She would have
showered for a good 7 hours collectively since I got out of that gig.
We've been taking Silkwood showers every day. So I told you my boyfriend stopped by and brought me barbecue for
Barbecue, yeah.
Memorial Day, and we actually made out through the full body condom. And then I had to take. He put his hands under me. I had to go take a Silkwood shower.
Wow. That's
Oh,
great.
my God. So okay. So we want you to take us. So okay. So the Quarantella is going to be. Tell us exactly when where people.
Saturday, it'll stream on my Facebook page, and it'll go live at 6 p.m. Pacific, last for an hour. People can go to my YouTube page, which is you just look for Adam Chester on YouTube. I have a channel on there, and all the Quarantellas now are up.
Fantastic.
And, what am I forgetting, honey? Anything? She's like my producer.
So if I'm gonna put up one link for you.
Oh, and then if they subscribe to my YouTube channel, no, they need to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because I need to get 1,000 likes, and then we can start streaming on YouTube, which would be much better from the phone than doing it just on Facebook. So please subscribe.
How is it better if you do it through YouTube?
I hear that the connection is much better, and you can watch it on YouTube and hit a much larger audience than Facebook. And you can connect it to your television and watch it on TV. So that's what
That,
YouTube does, which is
that
great.
that's a really nice thing. So you're going to give me one link that's going to be the best link for everybody to get all your. What's the one link that's going to be the thing that's going to connect them to everything?
Hang on, I'm waiting for my corporate office to yell in. Honey?
It should be your website, but I don't think it is.
Okay, so it should be my website, which is adamchester.com, but that we're just getting up and running again with all this new information and all the press. So I would, for now, go to YouTube, Adam Chester channel, and subscribe. That's the best way to find
You
it.
send me that link as soon as we finish, and I'm going to put it
Yes.
up in the liner notes.
Excellent.
And we did that before, but I'm going to, now it's different because now people have a context to
Cool.
be motivated.
That's
So you're going to take us out with something original.
something original. All right, let's see. What do you think, hon? Should we do Think I'm Going Crazy? That's a good one. Okay. I think I could do this. So this is a song. We did a video of it back in the mid '80s, and it was on MTV. And
Wow.
it's a song called "Think I'm Going Crazy," and every word of it is still me to this day. Well, I know that every time I look, I'll find a new gray hair. But my barber said, don't worry, soon there won't be anything there. And the lines in my face, looking like a pile of maps. But before I can find out where they lead, I always want to collapse. Well, the bills got so high that I just couldn't pay. So I got me a broker. He said he'd take my troubles away. Well, you know, not only did he take me for a ride, but he took my girlfriend by his side. Oh my God, it's all my fault. You think that you got problems? Take a look at me. You see a whole bunch of things you never see. And I think I'm going crazy. Think I'm going out of my mind. You gotta help me. I wanna be free. And I think I'm going crazy. Lord, you gotta throw me a line. You gotta help me. I wanna be free. You think that you got problems? Take a look at me. Oh yeah. You see a whole bunch of things you never see. You never see. And I think I'm going crazy. Think I'm going out of my mind. You gotta help me. I wanna be free. And I think I'm going crazy. Lord, you gotta throw me a line. You gotta help me. I wanna be free.
Fantastic. Oh, Adam, I'm so glad we finally got a chance to do this. Who
Me
knew it
too.
was so- So I'm getting requests if Maria would come into the frame and say hello.
Honey?
We've got to
Can you
see
come into the frame and say hello?
we've got to see the brains behind the operation. Was that a no? Oh, hi!
You did it!
Come, Adam. Introduce your wife to everybody.
That's my wife, Maria Chester.
Hi, Maria.
Pretend you love me.
Oh, I actually, I met you guys a couple times, but in the real world, when we were at a Carlos Calvo gig.
That's right.
I met you through Carlos.
I love him.
He's so cool.
I love him.
We love Carlos.
His music.
Well,
He played a corncello with me.
Did he?
Yep.
That's phenomenal. And because of Carlos, that's how I met you guys.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Right?
Carlos,
He's a really good guy.
it was Carlos, and you had Isai Morales, who I knew years ago, and they did the show together. And I was like, "Hey, Carlos, what's that all about?" So that's how it started.
Well, I'm very grateful that happened, and I'm so glad that you guys are doing what you're doing. It's beautiful and important, and
I think
life
it's
affirming.
Yeah, it has.
It's say
It
Henry.
has purpose. I'm like, I don't know what we would be filling our time with if it weren't for all the music.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful. I'm really tempted to drive over and put my little chair and be live.
She's panicked about the people coming.
I am.
Panicked. But it's like, I'm like, as long as everybody stays socially distant, it's fine.
Our neighbors get a little overwhelmed when it gets crowded.
Because it got crowded.
Have there been big crowds starting to show up?
There
Yeah.
was right before all the press,
Right.
as all the press was happening, and then we asked people to stop coming, and it's been a little better.
It's been a little better, but I like people to be there.
I just but how are people?
We're in a pandemic.
It's okay.
How are people finding out? They're not telling them where.
Our friends are telling their friends.
And so on and so on.
Yeah, it's not cool.
And I get emails, "Hey, would you mind giving me your home address?" I don't even know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
Friends say, "Hey, I was thinking of swinging by," because they know me. I just say, it's probably best.
Just watch it on Facebook. But, I'm thinking, let's let some people. I like looking out and seeing people. I don't know.
So when you started this, how many people would you say there were out in the street for your
Just
first?
neighbors
20,
and like 20, 25 people.
Okay, so then when it got crazy,
very scattered.
Yeah.
and then what was it like when it got?
Looks like you're not playing for anybody.
Right.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and then it just sort of somebody posted about it on
still
Nextdoor.
Looks like you're not playing for any.
Now that we
there's
lowered it.
Now there's people lining when it's crowded, you see people lining the street leading up to our cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there were cars parking.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't be happy about
Yeah, no, you have to wear your outfit.
I wouldn't come. If I didn't live here, I wouldn't come.
You should come in your plastic outfit.
I know Crystal and Nikki come, and I'm like, well, but
they're covered in plastic too. And they sit on their lawn chairs. But it's like friends like that, I'm not going to say don't come. I mean, I love having them there. I love having my friends there. So, we try to keep it light, but it was getting crowded. Yeah. And so we had to stop because I didn't want to get shut down, so whatever.
Have there been any neighbors that have been offended?
They've all been so supportive. It's insane. And so it's really sweet. I'm very lucky.
That's just wonderful. Well, Adam, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Vicki. It's such a pleasure. You're terrific, and I love doing this. So thank you.
This was a fantastic Memorial Day. So thank you so much for making it so for all of us. I love you. I will be there, Quarancella, on Saturday at 6 p.m. I can't wait.
Bring the plastic.
Huh?
Wear the plastic. It'll be great.
Wear the plastic. Have a great night. Thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, everybody. Even though I don't see any of you, thank you.
See you tomorrow. Bye.